Hey Star Wars fans, Geek here, and today I'm going to be giving you the top 10 best Star Wars scenes of the original trilogy. We all know our favorite movie, but what is the best individual clip from these films? It could be the Battle of Hoth or the destruction of the Death Star, so take your guess. What is your favorite clip? Pause the video now, think about it, and put it in the comments below. Now, without further ado, the top 10 best Star Wars scenes of the original trilogy. Rusting its way into number 10 is the scene of C-3PO and R2-D2 in the desert. For this scene, I'm including from when the droids crash to when they are bought from the Jawas by Luke. Why, you might ask, am I including the scene in the best scenes of the whole original trilogy? Well, let me explain. When I think Star Wars, I think of C-3PO and R2-D2, specifically in this scene. This is one of the most iconic scenes of Star Wars, period. So why not include it in the best scenes of all time? That's why our favorite robots get their spot in the top 10. Scurrying their way into number 9 are all of the scenes on Endor. I know many of you hate the Ewoks, but I love the environment of Endor more than any others in the whole saga. The Battle of Endor includes some pretty awesome AT-ST destruction scenes, and the speeder bike chase is one of the most intense scenes of the whole trilogy. And the Ewok village is one of the most vibrant locations of the film. Honestly, when I think Episode 6, I think Jabba's Palace and Endor. Sorry if you hate the Ewoks, but I think these scenes deserve a spot. Disguising its way into number 8 is Princess Leia's rescue scene. Of course I had to include the action-packed rescue scene from Episode 4. You get the clips like the Wookiee prisoner trick, the trash compactor, and the swinging across void. Who can't love these iconic sequences? I personally don't think Star Wars would ever be the same without the thrill you get from the first time you watch the trash compactor walls close in on our heroes. How couldn't you include the semi-climax of the movie that started out the whole saga? Stomping its way into number 7 is the Battle of Hoth. The first time we saw the menacing AT-AT walkers, we were stunned. The giant metal quadruped beasts are basically the mark of Episode 5, the symbolizing feature. When the snowspeeders tied up that AT-AT, when Luke sliced open that walker, and when the Empire destroyed Echo Base were some of the most riveting parts of the whole battle. Even though the scene only takes up a bit of the movie, it is one of the most memorable clips of the whole saga. Submerging its way into number 6 is Han Solo's Carbonite freezing scene. This is one of the most interesting and emotional scenes in Episode 5. It's so important to both Episode 5 and 6 that how couldn't I include this clip in the top 10 best scenes ever? It also brought us one of the most memorable and recognizable quotes in the Star Wars saga.
I love you.
I know.
Speaking in reverse at number 5 are Yoda's training sequences. In fact, not only the training scenes, but all of the scenes with Yoda in the original trilogy. Episode 5 and 6 both bring in some of our favorite scenes of the little alien. We get practically all of my favorite Star Wars quotes from these scenes, like,
"You must unlearn what you have learned. Size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you? Do. Or do not. There is no try. For my ally is the Force. And a powerful ally it is."
And how couldn't we include Luke's arc towards mastering the Force and becoming a Jedi? I think Jedi Master Yoda deserves to be remembered in this top 10 list. Eating its way into number 4 is Jabba's palace scene. From all of the creatures lurking around the palace to the sail barge hopping around the Sarlacc pit, Jabba's palace is one of the most lively locations in the whole trilogy. Clips like the Rancor pit, Han Solo's unfreezing, and Luke's domination at the Sarlacc are scenes so critical to the series that I couldn't imagine a Star Wars without them. With creatures as famous as Yak Face that even get their own action figure, how couldn't you love the busy crowd? Episode 6 just wouldn't have been complete without the Hutt crime lord's palace of wretched villainy. Exploding their way into number 3 are the destructions of the Death Stars. Destroying the Death Star was not only the climax of one Star Wars film, but 2. In Episode 4, we see our hero destroy the space station by harnessing the Force, and in Episode 6, we see our favorite ship impale the core of the Death Star to destroy it again. The Death Star is practically the symbol of Star Wars, so including its downfall in the list is pretty important. And besides, Porkins deserves to be commemorated. Falling down into number 2 is the Emperor's death and Vader's turning. In episode 6, we really meet the Emperor for the first time, and in the same film, we see him die. But before that, we get to watch some pretty epic finger lightning battles. And when you think about it, Darth Vader's turn back into Anakin Skywalker is what the whole trilogy had built up to, and ended the saga perfectly. Seeing Sebastian Shaw as a Force Ghost at the end of the film was a perfect way to wrap everything up. Revealing its way into number 1 is the I Am Your Father scene in episode 5. There is no way you couldn't have seen this one coming. This ultra iconic Star Wars scene is what everyone quotes day after day. The
I am the Father
line may very well be the most famous movie quote of all time. This was the biggest plot twist of the Star Wars saga and the most memorable scene. When I was 5 and watched Star Wars for the first time and heard that line, I was shocked. When we see Luke plunge to his doom down that shaft, we were worried. It's a good thing that antenna was there. I think the most powerful and inspiring scene of the whole saga deserves first place. So that's all for now. If you agree with my list, please tell me in the comment section below and by clicking like. If you have any better scenes that I didn't include here, please jot them down in the comment section also. Subscribe to Star Geek for weekly Star Wars content. Until we meet again in a galaxy far, far away, this has been Star Geek.